I'm live. So here we are. Welcome to another reading as I scratch my back there. I'm just going to get right on with it. Hope you had a good weekend. I hope you've got a good start to the week, whenever this turns out to be that you watch this. So let me just make this a little bit bigger. Oh, darn it. I have to get a better mouse than this. Or I've got to get a less reactive mouse. All right, first quote is from Alexis Pauline Gumbs, who is a self-confessed, what is she? She is an American writer, independent scholar, poet, activist, and educator based in Durham, North Carolina. And she advocates for other POC queer women and is commonly known as a Black feminist love evangelist. So there you are, that's all about her. But what does she say? From Undrowned, Black feminist lessons from marine mammals. Oh, I guess a bit kind of different sort of combination there. There are at least 3 ways to love you. As you were, as you are, and as you will be. I love you. That means I choose all 3. That's pretty cool, actually. 3 ways to love yourself. As you were, as you are, and as you will be. I think that's pretty cool. And Ernest Holmes says, love is the lodestone of life, or if you like, the compass. The great and supreme reality. Love is the highest gift of heaven, the greatest good on earth, and the treasure of all our search. And it is the end and aim of everything. And I couldn't agree more. 365 Science of Mind, page 82, paragraph 1. Because I personally believe that love is the basis for everything, even when it doesn't look like it. And this is Reverend Kris Alexander, who's saying, during my journey of self-love, I've been reflecting on the way our bodies change. True. Look in the mirror. Even when I think I've finally reached the pinnacle of self-love, I inevitably wake up the next morning with another weird chin hair, random back pain, or a giant zit on my face. No matter how much I love my body, it's going to continue to age and to change. This is why self-love is a journey. On top of the societal soup of marketing, messaging, people, products, and social media that suggest self-hate is the norm, we're trying to love something that is constantly shifting, moving, and changing right in front of us. Love is both a noun and a verb. Just as I don't expect those I love to stay exactly the same, I don't expect my body to remain the same either. Love then becomes a conscious choice to show up no matter what happens. I love my body no matter how it changes or if it no longer works the way it once did. This body is mine, and she highlights that, and it's the only one I'll get in this lifetime. So I choose to unconditionally love it, just as it unconditionally loves me. Embracing changes with compassion and acceptance allows me to appreciate this amazing vessel that carries me through life. I honor the evolving nature of my body and my journey of self-love. As I said, I love that first quote. As you were, as you are, and as you will be. I choose all 3. I think it's pretty good. But when I first started reading this, I didn't read it initially as loving my body. I read it as that was part of the whole process. But when I go through the reading again, I see that she, Reverend Kris Alexander, is concentrating on loving our body. So, well, let's go from there. So what do you think about our message? See, when I look at self-love, I look at it as more than that. I look at it as accepting my body, but I accepted me with all my quirks, with everything I've done and everything I'm doing, with all my good points and my weaker points and things I don't like about myself right now, things I don't like about myself from the past, and wondering about the future. So to me, it's a bigger picture. So self-love to me means accepting myself as I am, mentally, spiritually, and physically. It means all of them. But I get that she's concentrating here on self-love of your body, which is fine. And it is hard to do. You know, when I pick up a picture of myself, I look at myself as I was 20 years ago, there is a huge difference. For instance, my hair was much darker color. You know, I had hardly any wrinkles at all. I looked pretty good. And now when I look at myself, I find it hard to accept the change sometimes. So I don't have much of a problem accepting myself internally, as it were. But accepting myself externally, well, that's another story. I've kept up exercising, which is pretty good. And I do quiet time, meditation, breathing every day. And so I'm pretty happy about myself that way. But I like the fact that she's drawn to our attention that we should like our bodies, no matter how they are or what they're doing. But to me, that's actually harder than accepting myself with all my faults and what I've done. So as I yawn, what do you think? Let me read the affirmation. Let's see what we make of that. Of course, I've read this before. I consistently choose to love my incredible body unconditionally, embracing its changes with compassion as I move through the phases of my life. So she's clearly concentrating on loving the body. And as I said, to me, it's more than that. And it's all of that. But it is a part of it. So I need to work on this to accept myself as the changes that I've gone through in my body. You know, I don't think I could climb up a rock face any longer and look down and see, 2,000 meters, 6,000 or more feet of nothingness between my legs. I don't really think I'm much of that anymore, but I am pretty reasonably healthy physically, but I think some things are beyond me and I accept that. So, but what do you think? I mean, your body's gone through changes just like mine. Are they okay? Is it okay with you when you look in the mirror, when you see what's looking back at you? Is that okay? So I'm going to follow my own advice, which I've given on numerous occasions, which is go and look in the mirror, stand and look in the mirror and say to yourself, I love you. I love you. I love you. And if you have to do that numerous occasions till it works, then do it, because I'm going to do it. And I'm going to do it today. I'm going to do it before I go to sleep tonight. Should we got to remember, I'll do it when I get up in the morning. And eventually, guess what? We will all end up actually believing it, because it's true that we are much more than this body, but the body deserves respect. However it is right now. My wife was just looking at, she watches these cute, I don't know if cute's the right word, these interesting, sometimes funny, sometimes, sobby videos. I mean, sobby in a good way, videos online. And she was just looking at one for a couple who've been married over 80 years. The wife is, they must have been married, let me see, 84 years, because the wife is 100 now. The husband's 103. And she was 16 when they got married. And it looks like they just accept each other and themselves as they are, which is kind of cool. So, hey, we've all got something to look forward to. So I'll be back tomorrow, hopefully at 5 o'clock. I'll be reading from the Science of Mind magazine daily guides. Once again, Reverend Lisa will be back, and she'll be reading from the Science of Mind textbook. And she's actually reading the meditations which is pretty good there towards the back of the book. So tune into her 9:30, 9:15 tomorrow morning, she told me, and I'm going to hold it to that. So have a good rest of the day, whenever that rest of the day is, and come back tomorrow and let's see what Reverend Kris Alexander's got to offer us. So until then, namaste.